today, folks, we're gonna keep on working at on the sci-fi scenes. So I was going yesterday. The stream crashed for some unknown reason. I think it was because I was running Substance 3D Painter, streaming, and working in Maya all at the same time. And I moved over to Unreal Engine, working in Unreal Engine 5. Um, applying my textures, creating nodes, and all of that stuff. So today we're going to try to get those to actually work. So I restarted my computer and everything. I need to figure out why Unreal Engine is kind of running really slow, because I don't have high poly meshes in there. We're going to ignore those bot friend requests. I don't use this account for anything else except for Unreal Engine. I really don't play many games on Epic. And it is going to take a little while to load. While I'm in here, I'm going to do a little research while I'm waiting for Unreal. Later on tonight, we're going to be playing more Baldur's Gate 3. Maybe I'll actually make it through a playthrough of it this time, because I have a friend pushing me to actually play it. This was a class project that I had a while back. This is a Wendigo. There's a couple details that I would like to fix, but I haven't gotten around to doing. For instance, the horns I put behind the ears, and the ears should be behind the horns, or antlers, whatever you want to call them. It's a Wendigo, so it's fake, so it doesn't need to be actual antlers, even though technically it is, because it's a deer thing. I did it based on a Chinese water deer. Now, I did 3D model the eyes and everything, but I thought it was more menacing with an orange glow for the eyes. Like kind of like an orangey red color. Because if you saw that staring at you in the woods, just two yellow glowing eyes, you would probably freak out. How to make Unreal Engine run smoother. That's what I want to make Unreal Engine. Lower the engine scalability settings to medium or low. Disable real time in the viewport. It's Control R for real time. We're not going to disable lumen and ray tracing and all that stuff. My computer should realistically be able to handle it. All right, where did it go? There it is. So I stopped at a point where I had some stuff to fix. And I'm sorry, I'm like kind of coughing today. Now I know I saved this. It better be. All right, so basically, we're going to bring in we're going to bring in an asset. Now this has two sides. You just can't see it. So if you look real close, it blinks over from one side to another. So we're going to set the snapping to 50. I want to get it put onto a grid line first, though. So my texture looks really strange right now. At least it did yesterday. Yeah, I mean it kind of does look really strange. I don't know why it's so shiny. It's not supposed to be. All right. Yeah, 50 is not going to work with this modular set. No, we want the snapping on. So this could be lighting settings too. But if you're getting weird stuff that is not letting your normals and your height maps and color and everything work properly, a lot of the issues when you do this, let's go into our textures. I'm going to go to the flat wall. I'm going to double click this. SSRGB. SSRGB needs to be turned off in 99% of excuse me, everything that you do in Unreal. So we're just going to save that, and we unfortunately we have to go through every single one of them. Because if we don't, it's just not going to look right. See, it's already starting to look a little different here. So we're going to go and we want to make sure we save every single one of them. This one realistically could just be deleted. I'm not going to be using this one. The surface normals. SSRGB is already off on that one. This is one of the normals that I'm using. SSRGB is already off. And then for the roughness texture, also turn off SSRGB. Now it looks a little bit better. A lot better, actually. It's less overly shiny and glossy. So now it's workable. I'm going to delete all these because they're not quite in a place that I need them in. And I was messing with the settings a little bit too much. All right, so we're going to put that right there. So that looks pretty good. Now I really could have. I can go back into Substance 3D Painter, and then I can really blend in the sides a little bit better and match the textures a little bit better. So that you don't have these little lines. They're not that noticeable on here, but that's part of the reason you make kind of like trim pieces for buildings. It's not super noticeable on this. Like you're going to see things repeat here and here and here, and you can make a couple different textures and change the seed so you can, place it or whatever. So we're going to bring in the curved wall. For some reason, This really hates agreeing with me. All right, so they match up. That's a good thing. Now we got to go in and do the textures for this one. Because as you can see, it's overly glossy. Overly glossy. The height maps aren't really working. They're acting strange. It's kind of cloudy. And by all means, if that's the look you're going for, then that's great. But let's that's not it. Where is my outliner? There we go. I want the directional light. I want to bring this. Let's turn off the snapping real quick. I want it to be like that so I can see what I'm looking at a little bit better. Now, I am probably going to go back into Substance 3D Painter and make different variations of the wall or whatever. I'm probably going to texture it. I mean, right now, I'm doing it this way so I can see my details and all of that stuff, get my lighting correct. Like you'll see the height map changes where the shadow is a little bit in there, which is what we want. But having more detail on here helps me see what the mistakes are. So I have a design on each one of them. And then I'm going to make it look a little more, not plain, but, things that would actually be used. So, I need the caffeine. All right, so the curved wall, we got to go in and change all the sSRGB stuff. Now, sSRGB can sometimes make the color look a little bit better. But everything else, like your height maps, your normal maps, and all of that stuff, you absolutely do not want sSRGB on. And it almost, usually even in the normal, I guess they fixed it. In the normal maps, it often did the same thing. But yeah, roughness. This is sSRGB. Now, watch when I click it. You see how all the blue hues, they just go away. There's blue and green in here. Like if I were to use a color selector, I'd probably find some green and some blue. You turn off the sSRGB and it's only grays and white and sometimes black, depending on that needs to be re-imported. So we're going to go to Maya. We're going to open up the scene. And I'm probably going to export all of this when I go to like completely do it. I'm going to probably export all of them all onto the same thing. Kind of set up a little bit as one FBX file to bring into Substance 3D Painter. So we're going to go to set project. I apologize. Apparently my microphone screen thing doesn't work very well anymore. But I think it's modular spaceport is the right one. Then we'll go to file, open scene. Yesterday I accidentally deleted my floors and I started working again and saved the file and forgot to save in between. So I lost the floors that I made. So we're going to have to make those again. But I figured I would get into start texturing everything, making everything look right. So we're going to go to, I like using game exporter. Yes, we want to. Now you'll notice that my models, they'll have SM_SM, and that's because I have to put a prefix in there when I use game exporter. And then we'll just re-import that. And I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's not exactly smoothing that the way it's supposed to. So we got to figure that out. Edit mesh. We'll try applying one extra division level. And then we can delete this and this. And then we'll select that, export, replace, okay. And then we'll go back into the content drawer, re-import. It's strange, it's still kind of doing the same thing. It should look better than it does. It could just be because of where the lighting is. So let's go to the outliner. We can delete this whole folder. We don't need this landscape. We also don't need the player start. We only need this stuff. So it could be just because of the way the light is hitting it. So we're going to turn the light. Light is acting very strange on this. And I think it's because we just don't have anything blocking light from coming in other directions right now. So it'll probably look a lot different if I were to bring in, say, a cube. Kind of set this down here. Then we'll bring in another cube, and we'll block off this. Right there, and see how the light reacts to it. Then we'll duplicate this down because I just want to cover all the holes real quick. I just want to make sure everything is kind of like behaving the way that it should with light and everything like that. And when you have this, like I can turn on view from both sides. Does take up more memory, free space and everything too. So you don't always want to do that, but it might change how well or poorly the light is reacting with stuff too. All right, so we'll go to our outliner. We're going to delete that and delete that. We only need one directional light. It's also probably causing a lot of the issues. There we go. Now you see the shadows going through my height maps and everything like that. So light is reacting a lot better with my walls. So in a lot of games, they keep everything very low polygon. That's really strange. I don't know why it's adding weird textures. That is a really strange thing. It turned it into like a corrugated steel just by moving the light around. So we're going to do this. I just want to make sure it all works. See, once the light's blocked from weird places, everything just looks a lot better. No matter what direction I turn the light in, turn the light off, basically. Have the sun come back up and around. Spin it this way. You have some light leaking through the top there, but all of that would be blocked once, you made a building out of it. So now we got the textures working on this wall. So we're going to delete this. We're going to delete this, this, and this. And then I want to go to my outliner. Details. 0. We're just going to reset this completely. Now everything looks a lot better than it did. So now it's time to start working on other textures. So we'll bring in the curved half wall. Turn the snapping back on. It's not lined up that way. Sometimes things take a little finagling. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into our materials. Then we're going to make material instance. We're going to call this MI curve wall half. All right. So now we need to go through all of these too. Turn off the sRGB. We have to do this every single time we do something. Every single time. We don't need those. That one should also just be off. And I might go into my main material again, my master material, because I think I have this. Yeah, I didn't mean to disconnect that. What did I disconnect? Okay. So I have to enable tessellation, and we're going to put this into the displacement map here. We're going to set this to 1, so it's on every time, because we're going to use it every time. Then we're going to Control C, V, just building basic nodes. There's a lot of stuff you can do with nodes, but this is going to be normal. Actually, no. We're going to switch these back. Height. This one's going to be normal. Normal on off. All right. So this one's going to go into our displacement map. Then we're going to go back down here. We're going to grab this and go into the normal. Now, I could clean this all up and take all the noodles off and all of that stuff, but we don't need to necessarily. So I wasn't necessarily using my normal and my height map both. Now I'm going to. That's why I went back into the master material. So we'll go into the MI curve wall. We'll go to our textures for curved wall. I'm going to turn on the height. And we're going to put our height map in there. I'm going to save that and go back into here. Then we'll check it out. Now the height shading looks a little better. Go to the directional light real quick. Oh, I don't want to bring it to 90 degrees. Now I have more shadows because of the height map, plus the normal map. So we're going to do the same thing for this wall real quick. So we're going to turn on the height. go to our flat wall, and then we'll drag in our height map. And we'll save that out, exit that. Now we have height. Now everything looks a little better again. Now the light is still coming through the top a little bit and messing with the lighting. But once the scene is built out and all of that, it'll look a lot better. As you can see, there's a lot more depth. Now, when you're standing farther away, it'll look even better. When it's rendered and everything and the lighting is rendered better. That actually makes it look way deeper than it's supposed to be, but it is what it is for now. We'll figure that out later. So, next one we're going to work on is this. So we'll go back to our materials folder, to the curved half wall. We're going to turn on the base color scaler, and no emissive, height, metallic, normal, roughness. Then we'll turn on all of the colors here. We don't need emissive. So we'll need emissive once we get to the one pillar that I did. Curved half wall. And then we just kind of drag and drop all these in. For now, this is the height, normal. Nope, this is the normal. I don't know why there's two different normals, but standard surface roughness. Then we'll save that. We'll exit. Now we need to go into this menu. So to make this drop on every single one of them, we double click onto this. We go to the material slot, material slots 1. We're going to go MI curve wall half. Now that's going to apply every time we drop it into the scene. So we'll save that. We're just going to bring this up. That's strange. All of these should be exactly the same height, and for some reason they're not. This should be exactly 1/2 of this one. So those are things we're going to have to fix. It's not a big deal. All we're going to have to do is bring these up 1. The regular walls I do kind of want to fix too, because they don't line up on the 50 grid. So we'll figure out how many blocks I'm off on that, and then we'll just re-import stuff. So these walls need to go up 1. They're already UV'd, so all we have to do is drag the edge up, and it'll be fine. It's not going to change anything. Shouldn't stretch anything out or anything like that. Sometimes it does. Usually it doesn't. But yeah, sometimes you're just a little bit off. You're miscounted or something like that. So like this, like if I were to all right, while I'm here, we're going to actually test it out. All right, so those are also one block off from the 50. So all we have to do is go back into Maya. I'm going to take these vertexes. All right, so we need to go to this one right here. Then we'll select the object, game exporter, export, and we just go in here, and then we test it out. So it looks like it needs to go over another block. So we'll do that. All right. Now they match up on the 50 grid. They should, theoretically. So we're going to test it. Yep, that's on the 50 grid. Didn't change how anything looks. So we'll delete these. Move these over. All right, so I'm going to change this to 10. Now we'll see if this one does. No, we want 90 snapping. So if this lines up on the 50 grid, which it doesn't, it does not. So we have some fixing to do. Now, the reason I want it to match on the 50 is just because it's easier to place things. I want to make things nice and easy. So it's good thing, kind of good thing that I deleted the walls or whatever. So, or the floors rather. So what we need to do, we're going to hide all this stuff over here real quick because we're not working with it yet. And we'll just make sure these snap onto the grid like that. And then we'll line this up over here and we'll do the same thing. All right, so we'll take this. We'll put that there. Then remember, we got to pull both of these up one also. So, all right, this needs to come over two this way. Right, that should fix everything. There. Theoretically. We'll find out. So we'll go back to game exporter, export, yes, okay. Then we'll go into Unreal Engine. If it'll let me get over to the menu. Re-import. Now, no matter which way I turn this, it should snap together. Should snap together, but we'll put this onto this line here. We're just going to kind of like line these up real quick. And we'll go to 50. Now something is still off. Turn the snapping back on. Something is off. So we'll go into Maya. We're going to hide that one for now. We're going to hide this for now. We're going to move the game exporter out of the way for a second. Now that's partially what I did wrong there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's going to be partially what I did wrong. All right, so that's going to be correct like that. I'm going to correct this. Correct that. All right, so this needs to go. We're going to do this again. That should be that size. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 27. So we're going to try this now. We have to account for the other two spaces or whatever too. So I'm going to try this again. Oh, I did the short curves wall. Re-import this one. We're going to put the snapping to 50. We're going to put this to 10. Oh, no. Put this on a block there. I want to get this perfectly lined up with a corner on the grid. Now that should work there. All right, so it works from the left side, but not the right side. And it looks like I need to go 3 more blocks on this side to make it work properly. I'm going to snap this. No, we're going to put this back to 50. And then we'll just see how many times it takes to snap over. Yep, it's 3. So we'll go to Maya. It's going to be this side. So we're going to go. Let's actually move this one over. All right. So we'll go back to the vertexes. Make sure I don't have anything weird selected. And we'll just move it over to there. And that's the side that needed the extra work. And we'll go to object mode. We're going to put this here. We're going to move this up so it's not acting weird with the way things are placed into Unreal. And then re-import. I don't know why it's doing that. What's going on?
What's going on, Don?
Not much, dude. Not much. Just building this scene in Unreal. I only slept a few hours, dude. I went to sleep at like 3 o'clock in the morning and I woke up at 7 today. Yeah, so today I might nap. Dude, it's me every day almost. So if you're wondering why I take naps, then that's why. Because it doesn't always move to origin. Why is this not working? More RuneScape.
Because people do these like lure tactics in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that you can just change worlds, go to that exact location, then just switch worlds or binary them, and they don't even see your time. Just pick it up. Pick up the.
Heck yeah.
Sometimes it hurts one time. You have to be quick because they only show like drop it for a few seconds. Just like because like they like you can get notifications when items under a certain amount drop ground, so you can just
Okay.
so but yeah, that's people take advantage of that. So like when people see a notification and like Pharaoh's on like for instance, which is like it's like a safe area in the center of the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like exits to the unsafe areas and shit. So people just drop shit there.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of fun. Sometimes you can use telegraph, which is like a spell that you can like pick shit up from far. But it's like almost impossible to not pick it up before the spell thing gets to it. But if they don't pay attention, it can happen that you can pick it up. Even though like you're basically off the screen and they can't see it from either end. It's it's so funny when it happens. It's actually it's actually embarrassing to Newport if that happened because like it's so easy to react to and like with weird weird.
Yeah. I I know I've told you guys, but I haven't played RuneScape since like 2001 or 2002 or something like that. Not really. Like I played RuneScape 3 for a second because my friend Zach plays it. So it's very different from what I'm used to.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, this game has evolved like crazy. Like it's a very it's a mixed community, man. Like you can have some absolute scumbags of the earth that like try to like just flip a coin at something like on to the gold farmers.
Mm-hmm.
People who actually play this game to make a living essentially. Which I don't like that aspect, but I mean every game has that kind of thing. Like every MMO has that.
Yeah.
It's fun. Can't avoid escaping. Um, but it's like it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world. Because most of the time, the people you end up meeting, they're not in it to make money in real world trade. Like maybe one out of like fucking 200, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So most people just play the game for the sake of having fun, which is good. If it wasn't for that, it would be pretty pathetic.
Yeah, re-import this one. Okay, cool. That works now. Nice, easy snapping. Let's line this up real quick. Now I want to change this to 50. I don't think it's going to work. Change that to 50. Yeah, the half wall needs to come in and over one on the left inner side. All right, so my no over one. So like I'm trying to snap everything to the world grid. So I'll share my screen. It'd probably be easier to show you. So yeah, so so in Unreal Engine, which most games are either built in that or I can't think of the other one. Yeah, Unity. Um, yeah, Unreal Engine looks better, but and oh yeah, and you have to pay for Unity too, I think, unless they changed it recently. But um, yeah, Unreal Engine was built by the people that made Unreal Tournament, which I think is really cool. That's like one of the classic games that I used to play all the time. Fucking capture the flag, dude. I loved it. Wait, did this or does it just look weird? Yeah, it just looks weird. That's okay. All right, so I need my curved half wall. We're gonna hide the flat wall.
I love people trash talking in PvP. It gives me confidence. You know what I mean? Because I know they're just pathetic human beings, and it like fuels me to want to you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you, dude. I That's how I was with like Call of Duty back in the day. To be honest.
Yeah, it's just doing special attacks on me right now. Get over here. That's
Mesh tools. Mesh. Mesh. Smooth. There we go. Then we'll get rid of this edge loop. There. I just want to match this up. I'll 5 this.
sorry.
Vertexes.
Yeah, dude. If I were you, man, I don't know what I was gonna say. You do what the fuck you want. If you feel which if you feel what you're doing is what you really want to go ahead.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've come to a realization that people should just do what they want to do and not care what other people think, so long as it doesn't hurt other people.
Yeah, that's what I do with my life. But I'm one of those people that love running into like a really douchey guy that deserves to get beat up.
Wait, say that again.
I like running into people that deserve to get beat up because I.
They just come along.
Yeah, I used to like really like fighting when I was younger. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's hilarious. Like when I get emotionally like upset or yeah, it would definitely like push me forward.
I was never really like emotional or anything like that. It was just I don't know, when I was like real young or whatever. Um I kind of had this like protector type mentality. Um so like when my brother or sister was getting picked on or anything like that, I would be the first one to be there. Yeah. And same thing with other kids that were in school too. Like,
Dude,
that's kind of like how I ended up joining the military too.
yeah, I don't like violence. I've learned it the hard way.
I think it's necessary in some cases, not always, but you know, like you can't always prevent it. I mean, I now that I'm older, I actually try not to get into fights or anything like that. Like I'm more likely to walk away than I used to be. And then if they follow me, then that's a different story. Or if they're hurting somebody that I care about, like I went to a concert not too long ago, or not even a concert. It was just like a local bar with a local band playing cover songs. And this dude, he was probably 6'2", a few inches taller than me, but probably had about 100 pounds on me too. He was big. And I was like, he kept on like moshing next to a fire pit, and and like almost knocked this little girl into the fire. I ended up getting into it with him, and his girlfriend came up and started apologizing to me. I was like, "Yeah, you need to bring your kid home. Like, get him the hell out of here. He's hurting people. That's not cool." So it was always kind of like that. More like I would never go after somebody to go after somebody or anything like that. But I think it's necessary in some cases, you know? You can, but I'm one of those people that I don't feel I don't know. I don't think I'm made to do that. To just walk away. Kind of like something snaps in my brain.
Just kind of like it like it's like the cognitive dissonance is so great that you have to like intervene. You feel compelled to make a change.
I think for me it's a lot of instinct, to be honest. Like I don't have any thoughts, feelings, nothing. Whenever I got into a fight or anything like that, it was like um more I don't know. I guess like whenever something bad happens, my brain shuts off and then I just act. That's all that happens. I don't really have control. I don't black out or anything. Like I remember the whole situation. It's just I don't have control of what my actions are. They're just happening, if that makes sense. Like
Oh, I know what you mean. Like you're just like you're like fully
yeah.
like your instincts. That's not nice.
part of military training too. But it doesn't like I'm able to kind of control it to an extent too. Like I'm not just straight. I'm gonna go fight this guy. Like majority of the time, I'm kind of um what's it called? Majority of the time, like I'm able to just be like, yeah, that's not worth it, and just walk away. But then there's an instance like, say I just saw a girl get hit by a guy, like actually hit, like he's beating his girlfriend. My brain just takes over and goes, somebody's getting picked on. It's the same thing if somebody's getting picked on too.
Oh yeah, people get picked on.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I mean. Like I'm not like
I would just like, I would subtly defend them in like a way as like, I would just, I would maybe tease back at the person that's like teasing them, just to like settle the score.
yeah, I'm in that sense like that's when my brain is like very reactive. So it's not like I'm going out looking to fight people or anything like that. It's just my brain takes over and I just act instinctually instead of like intuitively, I guess. So I don't really see an issue in it because I'm not gonna just like jump right into a fight. Like usually it's like one or two times somebody was just being a douchebag.
Fucking loser. You double spec P dip. Fucking loser. I'm actually gonna report this guy. Oh, I can't because like they're not gonna pay.
Oh,
So annoying. Such a little cunt. I hate people who have no like who have no like fucking sense of that's what
same.
annoys me as well. When people do shit because they can, not because it's right. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Now that I think about it, I was actually asking myself the question today. Should I just do whatever I want to do, even if it's not the right thing to do? Like what I genuinely feel like I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would
Not to say that it can't be something big, or that's morally compromising to my ethical framework, but is also like something that I genuinely been wanting to do. That well, something that's in the direction I've identify as, I guess. It's, I don't know how else to explain it. It's very abstract. And honestly, I think I answered my own question. Like, I don't know. Well, in part, I answered my own question, which is, I wouldn't be able to accept doing something that's dishonorable, essentially. Well, that's I guess that's part of the answer I was looking for.
yeah, I also don't really like when people act like dishonorable and stuff too. Like That's why I don't like when people get picked on and stuff like that. Like that, it really, really bothers me.
Power dynamics are pretty fucked up in social interactions.
Yeah, we're very violent creatures.
And I kind of say human as if like we talk about animals. Yeah, just people, like interaction with people, power dynamics, or just like status and shit like that. Like this, I find it so bad, but it is what it is. People are born with purpose and are raised differently based on the requirements their family history. As much as we'd like to all be the same, it's just not possible. That's just idealism.
Yeah. All right. So it's kind of like
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of, I guess I'm kind of like in a way annoyed with my own situation. In a way, it's like yeah, like I'm born in a family that wasn't that was that would get bottom, you know.
yeah.
Obviously, they had debt. They were not good financially for most of my adolescence, you know, most of my life. And I had to basically figure it out all of that for myself, so I don't, you know, repeat the same. And it's and to be honest, at this point, even then, even if I figured everything out by myself at this point, I still genuinely struggle because I didn't have that initial support financially, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like they didn't pay for my tuition. I had to work for them. It didn't take too long to pay it off at least because it was college. And it was, you know, it's a fraction of the cost of university in Canada. It's like a third as much. So that definitely helped. But you know, it was still rough. You know, like I couldn't really like splurge all that much. I even though I did to my own detriment in savings. But like, you know, it would have been nice if my parents could have paid for me. That's all I ask. You know what I mean? It's like I would have had enough for a down payment for an house my own if I had had financial support.
Yeah. I mean, my family was pretty poor. Um, and I never blamed them for it or anything like that. But because
I
you know,
no, I mean I don't know if you're gonna answer.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Why does this? This doesn't make sense.
Anyway, well, what I have to say about this thing, you kind of, I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't say that it's unforgivable. That's not, but I do blame them for it. Like, absolutely. Like, it's not my fault that they got sick. It's them that didn't want to put in the effort to do that, or to improve as a person, to be able to, or like, you know, improve their spending habits. You know, that's not on me. I was a kid. They chose to, you know, they chose to bring me into the world and raise me.
It's true.
Have these hopes and dreams for me, but they fell short. Like straight up, like that. some advice in some respect, but I mean, it's all like common knowledge type of advice, you know what I mean? I could have figured that out myself. I guess what I should have asked is like, also in part it's kind of my fault for not asking like, about paranormal experience and shit. 'Cause I had to find those two paradigms to even ask those questions. I thought like, well, I figured everything out on my own at this point. Why should I even, bother asking their help at this point? So it's kind of like conceited in that sense. I should have questions, I guess. Part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was a very curious kid, so I actually I asked my dad a lot of stuff, and he was very knowledgeable too. And Windows. All right.
I think the issue is that my parents never really talked about their childhood, and I really don't like that. I don't like how they were very like secretive. They were never really open about. Well, my mom was a bit more, but my dad, zero, 0%. My dad is an enigma to this day. It's fucking sad. Like I hate it, and that's why I never want to talk to him because I don't know him. He doesn't know me. We just happen to live in the same space the whole time. He paid some of the bills. My mom paid most. He was doing whatever the fuck he was doing on the side with whoever. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if my dad cheated on me too, but he was doing. Like he is the type, and that's why I never want to talk to him because even though I don't know, like I can give him the benefit of the doubt, but I just know deep down that he was doing it with other people, at least two other people that we know of, and like one of our neighbors went before, like I guarantee they had an affair, because he would constantly help her out, like for no reason other than she was a woman, to be honest, and she was mildly attractive.
Yeah.
Like even I was like kind of had a crush on her. She was kind of nice, and I totally saw it, and my sister saw it too. My mom did too. My mom found it was inappropriate the way he was, giving her free concessions like that. It was really like, yeah, it was really upsetting. And she even ended up moving, and she was there before us, well before us. And obviously we don't know the circumstances under which she moved, but I have a feeling my it must have had something to do with it. That's our take. My sister and I, like deep down, we all know like something is up. And there were there was this other lady a while back. Like my sister remembers she got like a little toy or like a little bag or something. I don't remember what it was. And like my dad knew that it belonged to me, like my sister, but apparently like he took that and gave it to that lady as like a gift or something. Like either like a plushie or something or like a bag, like a little bag.
Yeah.
And my sister, like obviously back in the day We
That's funny. I'm sorry.
oh no, it's hilarious. Like to me, it's hilarious, but because it's just like raise the alarm. Even my sister was like,
Like, did he add you on Snapchat?
Snapchat account, Dad.
Like,
No, but he was in my like friends request, not my friends' suggestions. And I was like, bruh, like there ain't no way. Like, and and once we saw that, me and my sister, it's like the ball, it's set in motion. Like everything we thought about it. You know what I mean? Like everything just started coming together. Like that little slip up, like that algorithmic slip up, that like unbeknownst to him, the internet fucked him over, which is kind of amazing. I'm really glad it happened because it just told me everything about it. You know what I mean? And how like he's secretive. He does his own shit on the side without telling anyone, like any of us, and just morally fucking morally conceited. I guess is that conceit? Oh yeah, like he's definitely fucking arrogant. That's what boisterous, overly confident in himself.
gonna re-import all these.
He's also the type that like does everything for himself. Like he doesn't ask anyone to do it. Like he'll fucking go out of his way. He'll like he'll like he'll like risk his own bacon just to save like fucking $50. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Like he's so stingy because like let's be real. Like he could have used that $50 to fucking go out to dinner with some random chick. Who knows? What his fucking plans were. But that took 2 months. It's fucking very normal. I just know that he's a piece of shit and it sealed my life. Doesn't matter if he got his head beaten is not the same anymore. He's still who I think he is. Well, he's still who he is. Yo, I got a lot of things to unpack at this psychotherapy session. I think it's gonna take quite a few sessions. When do I start? The 20th Wednesday. Unfortunately, I wanted it to be this week, like, but it could have been. I don't know, man. I asked. Oh, there's an immediate availability for this person. Holy shit.
Okay, that's because of the height map and everything. That's why I'm getting light through there.
Too many layers to unpack.
This is gonna have to go.
Like I probably have an eating disorder as well. Like emotional eating. What? Binge eating? Yeah. Well, no, emotional eating. Like when I get emotional, I eat. Yeah, binge eating. Yeah, I guess. I guess that's what it's called. Eating in excess. Whether you're hungry or not. Yeah, yeah. Or I'm not eating enough, but just eating the like wrong things in the wrong time. Like I'm not eating on like a schedule. Like as I really should. I don't think any of us here do. Not that before. No, it's not. No, I guess that's not my main issue. My main issue is being able to cope with my emotions. Like I don't have any strategy. I need this for that. Like ChatGPT cannot help with this. Yeah, exactly. Dude, don't run away, you pussy.
We'll bring this back in now. What the hell?
I just hate how like I have to wait a week to start. It's just like dude, I was surprised there was like this week. There was availabilities this week, so I was like, oh wow, shit, I get to see like Wednesday. Like that person, that same person that, and then I was like, and it was like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll take that avail that when if it's still available, and they go like, oh yeah, we'll book you for next Wednesday. Like you said, it changed somewhere along the way. By the time I decided, which was like hours later, yeah, yeah, I should have been quick deciding how we got. We needed an extra session that week, and we got priority. Oh yeah, that's how it works. Sometimes, yeah, if the therapist has like open availability in their schedule, and there happens to be a client who needs additional support, they'll schedule like an additional session or change their session layout so that way it's like more free. So somebody, yeah, especially if all they did was unpack the session properly, chalk out their solution thought process.
All right, this should fix this now. Yeah, but for me, the best therapist for me didn't relate to me at all. Like,
Holy shit, he does to me.
what's that?
Some people are just good therapists.
Yeah, she was amazing. And like she just had like even though she didn't have anything like in common with me or anything like that, she was able to still come up with like a plan for me to like get better again. Like be a little bit more social and stuff like that. And then after she left the VA, I haven't been able to find another good therapist. Veterans Administration.
Is that like an agency?
Yeah, it's so when I talk about like my VA benefits or anything like that that the military still pays me, it's because oh son of a bitch. I guess I have to snap everything to 50.
This guy wanted to fucking get
I really wanted this to be able to just snap, but I mean it'll work. It'll work for modular. Sorry. So the VA is like who pays me and compensates me for um like my injuries and all that stuff from being in the military, anything that's service related. So I guess that's better than it was. But I got some corrections to do here. So I'm gonna have to switch my subdivisions to 10. Um, all right, so a couple more corrections on here that I gotta make.
Oh, the cinematic for the new Marvel season dropped. Sins of Alchemax. 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 Yep, it's Cyclops. Okay. Cyclops is 15 now. Oh, 63. Where's Cyclops the first when dinosaur was
I want to play the dinosaur.
Oh, wait, new character hinted in this trailer too. It's Iron Man. Girl with like puffy pigtails. Black girl. Oh, Cyclops saved her. And he got arrested. Okay, so I think we're gonna get Dinosaur first to save Cyclops. Yeah, yup. they're low key the best. Well, these are like OG comics. It's like some of the first.
Wasn't the first one actually like Captain America or something like that?
Yeah, no, Superman is the Superman. Superman is widely credited, but technically it'd be like 1930 Goldman bad Japanese Superman. The Phantom, what's the first? No, I'm done with the boss, bro. It's too easy. It's too easy and it doesn't give you that much. And it's like a 4 minute fight, bro. I'm done wasting. Yo, if a fight is not under 2 minutes, I'm not doing it. Straight up. Not worth my time. Like if it's not like if it doesn't give you as much money as Duke in the short such a short time span, or it's not easy like quick to fight like Varder, like I'm not doing it. Unless if it's like a big like a boss like Nyx, like that's actually worth doing because the payout can be ginormous. And they're frequent. And they're frequent because like you have multiple roles. So like in a small matter teams. Is it only the top person that gets a role for uniques? Believes. No, no, it's not because in mass you can do mass. It's still true. Get a drop. So rolling a shared table based on damage contribution base rate of roughly 1 in 43 per kill for the whole team to drop a unique, which is then allocated to a bear. MVP receives a 10% damage bonus, improving bear specific odds. And in smaller teams, straight chances for a personal drop are significantly higher, 1 in 40 per kill, than in large ones. So he gets 1 in 40 versus 1 in 43. So the better you do, like the luckier you are with your hits, basically the better chance you get. So that's why people like run max gear as in like big teams. I mean, it's only beneficial for the team. So you don't have to technically. You have to use that. Do you like Steely Dan?
No, not really. I'm not big on like older music.
Shit. Sorry for the loss. You listen to
I listen to a lot of metal and post-hardcore and stuff. Like I don't like 60s and 70s too much. 80s is like okay. I like where like music is a little more nostalgic to me and everything is like 90s to somewhat modern, like 2010s, 2015, 2016.
I think 80s was peak.
Like it's don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad music. So I just don't particularly like it. I almost never say music is bad. unless I'm joking with somebody, I'll be like, that band fucking sucks, dude. Like, but I don't know. It's some. I feel like older music on the typical like four chords and stuff like that most bands use, without a million other different things going on in the background and stuff like that, it doesn't like tickle my ADHD, I guess. So like heavy music that's kind of like angry does.
I get it.
So it,
I get it. I have another buddy that's like that too. Like death metal. There's another
yeah,
deathcore.
yeah, I'm not huge on death metal either. Cuz like blast beats and stuff like that kind of throw me off. I don't like them. So
What's a blast beat?
the ones that are like, yeah, yeah.
No, sometimes, when it's properly like inputted, like into a song, it can be like, I'll show you a perfect song for that.
Yeah, what I mean is like when it's the entire song.
Oh, I'll show you. Do you know Metaloclip's Death?
Yeah.
I love it. Like even though it's like people don't consider it a real group, but dude, the music is amazing. They came out with another Death album, right?
Did they?
Yeah, Death album four. Or, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, you should check it out. It's actually really good. It's
Ooh, this one I'm gonna.
it's not like it's not like they were milking it. They really like they put it. It sounded really good. I have to find it. Death album four, yeah, yeah. Where I listened to it so much when it came out, bro. There's some of them like mutilation on a Saturday night. That's definitely that SOS.
Yeah.
You heard of the SOS?
No, no. I didn't realize you were asking a question.
No, no, no. SOS is like the name of the song.
No, I don't know it per se.
I like I like melodic metal.
Yeah, I like stuff that's like, what the hell is going on with?
Like I like a good beat, a good like tempo, but not too fast, of course. Like I like it depends, man. Like I can be pretty picky, but the Metalocalypse, bro, any because it's like memes, like I can laugh at it. You know what I mean? Because it's like ridiculous, like the themes and like the subject matter.
Yeah.
It's so over the top and like it's a beat, so that's why I love it. But they even made like an opera, like the opera, the Doomstar Requiem. There was a good song in it though, Blazing Star.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly the, that's exactly what I want in that, like symphonic metal,
Hmm.
like a bit like you heard the band is it opera? Eric,
Oh, I don't know that one.
I think it is. I forget its name.
heck is going on with the camera in this? Jesus. View.
Symphonic metal. Symphonic metal, like epic of epic of fucking great band. You should if you don't know, I definitely need to.
So. Export this one. Unreal. Re-import. That should look pretty good.
You should listen to Unchained Utopia by Epic.
Two. That didn't work.
Or like Evanescence. That's another. That's like it's all it's bordering symphonic. It's not like it's not classical. It beats that but I mean it's close. It's very close. It's more modern. It's like it incorporates like classical instruments, piano, like electronic, like I don't know, like filler in the background.
Yeah.
Like that, I love that shit.
Yeah, I like stuff that's kind of like a day to remember.
Day to Remember is really good too.
Yeah, that's what I typically listen to. Stuff like that. Um,
Wait, a Day to Remember. I'm trying to think of this one song. I might be mistaken, but guys that name that's Pyron.
no,
It's a very simple. And they it's like there's day in the name for sure.
Chiron is that Parkway Drive?
No, all that remains.
Yeah, all that remains.
I like all that.
Yeah, they were one of the first concerts I was. No, that's fuck. What is that band called? Not all that remains. Um, yeah.
All that remains. Also, really? Yo, you're crazy. You're actually crazy. The most annoying band to ever exist.
The only song that I ever liked by them was Unholy Confessions before they got famous. That's the only thing that I liked.
Actually, no, it's been. Okay, bro. I don't. What's your point? This is actually. Have you listened to a little piece of that? No, because so why? No, like the rest of your crazy. They suck. That's why. What did they do? Avenged Sevenfold to me is like having Christmas. You're crazy. Nah, I'm real. Everything has artistic value, man. They definitely fucking trash pile. That actually insults me. I'm actually so pissed. Like, they're not good. That's my opinion on that. Yeah, but it's unfounded. No, it's not. I told you that about it.
It's kind of funny how you're describing it, though.
Because it's so not true. It is. Well, you have to, yeah, you have to elaborate because that's not right. It is right. That's my opinion. Right from my perspective. I'll agree to disagree. They're a good band. You can show me a band, and I can tell you not to. Actually, show me once. I've shown you many, many years. Yeah, exactly. Shut up. Fuck you, Jimmy. I know people don't like me. No, I should listen. Like I listen to some of them, and I'm like, not my style. I can be very picky with music. Like stuff from 1920. Yeah, I do. And it's fucking awesome. Packety whackety smash it. Packety whack. Yeah, bro. 40s. Yeah, dude, that's swing is amazing. Swing is. It's because like what I don't get where your bias comes from. Makes no sense. You're allowed to listen to something and immediately be turned off by it, which is why I said it's like the Mariah Carey Christmas song. But you say that. What is that? It's possible for sounds to not resonate well with your head, with your ears. It's not that unfounded. I think my statement says it quite clearly. Yo! I just realized that some of the pots in my bank, they line up diagonally. So like throwing all the anything that's not orders just in my bag and it's not organized, but they line up diagonally. It's still.
he does it to bands that he likes to. If we're being honest. Like I'll talk about a band that uh James definitely listened to, and he'll be like, "You're old." Don't take James seriously when he talks shit on music.
James thinks he's like so hip because he listens to the music he knows. Fuck, you know that being hip is in itself because it really is. It's actually pathetic because it's artistic value has nothing to do with that's actually confounded. It's like you're making an argument. Oh, I never said I was because I haven't seen the music. No, but it's just like that that creates it sets the tone. Versatile. Can't say that doesn't. There's obviously some meaning. There's some deep. Like there's. I know it's just banter, but like there is some truth to it. Yeah, it's never objectively bad. I knew you were gonna go there. I knew you. You're. I like music. I like music. No, no, I'm not. Because I knew. No, because I knew you were just gonna do it. I knew you were gonna fucking just go like insult again. Just fucking ad hominem because you're immature. I'm immature. Not you. It's actually pathetic. Actually pathetic. Shut up. I hate you. We're not. Yo, I'm not inviting you to my birthday party. Okay, I wasn't gonna come anyway. Oh, dude, you made me die in Delve 6. You died in Delve 6. I didn't do shit. I'm not what? You need me, bro. I'm just sitting and I'm sweating. You're making me sweat, Jimmy. I know, that's because you're getting mad. Body temperature's rising. My Jimmy's a Russell. I can tell.
All right, so I think for the glass and stuff, I have to.
Sold my Asus GeForce 1080 for basically $100. Oh yeah? Weren't you trying to get like 250 for it? Yeah, someone bid for 200, but I was too greedy. And that was like yeah, and that was like days into my listing. I'm so upset. Like I could have easily gone like at least like 150 US or 170 US. Yeah, just took the 200. Like whatever your listing price is, get ready. Just like the mentality is you listed at 250, but you want to sell it. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. That's what the mentality should. Yeah, but people were like lowballing me at some point what is it? Like 175. I was just like, said no, 225. And then he's like, oh, I saw this listing for 200. And I'm like, well, enjoy. And then I sell it for 130. Like if like I'm this. Yeah, next time I'll just list it for what it's worth and just take anything that's like $50. Devil Dinosaur is a Vanguard. I basically gave like $70. But yo, everyone was hitting me up once I put so like it's the reality of the market, right? Most people they can't afford like $200 is a lot for GPU. But oh, GPU I think there's a lot of build computers and sell them on marketplace. So like the cheaper they're able to get parts increases the profit margin. So to be able to build like a 1080 a PC with 1080 in it, they can easily get like $700-800 for that build. I don't know how much builds are. Rather than like sell like a bunch of builds. But let's be real, like 130 CAD for a fucking 1080, dude. That's like a huge bird for them. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I fucked up. I should have been more patient or less greedy. Like in hindsight, I know what's the next level. At least it's a learning experience. That $70 of value is a learning experience. Hey, found the $3 in my pocket right now. Better than fucking zero. Something collecting dust.
All right. So.
Next thing I want to sell is my tools. Like one of my tools that like I never use. It's like this. It's like a impact wrench. It's just to get the lug nuts in like real tight. Without having to like fucking do the spinning action. Take forever. Like obviously I use a torque wrench to like finish up, but that saves me so much time using. But I don't do it as a service, right? So there's no point in me having this. Like I don't do it often enough for me to justify keeping. If I were to offer a service to people, you know what I mean? Like to my friends and family to like put on tires and shit. I could keep it and do that. But I think it's just better off selling it and get the money or something else. Like new pants. I need new pants. Like two of my 3 pairs of pants are stained. Actually, all of them now. Yo, all of them have like a little stain on them. it's like it's so given to them. You know what I mean? Like it's like life is like a given to them. Like they don't have to earn it. Pretty privileged thing. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And I recognize that. That's why like even sometimes I'm pretty privileged when it comes to some things. Like and sometimes when I watch a movie and I'm still upset and it's understandable. So
If anybody ever watches my VOD, they're gonna know everything there is to know about Merv.
actually, yeah, if you don't mind like deleting
No, it's actually muted. My computer's muted. I'm just fucking with you. Because I listen to music while I'm streaming, like doing this stuff. So they can't hear the conversation that you're having. They only hear the personal stuff that I said about myself.
you're not so different from my father after all.
Father, Father,
Shit.
I commend my spirit. Father, whatever he says, I commend my spirit.
Like also, yeah.
Father.
I should have bet Jimmy's gonna be like, neither mine if you're hoping. No, I haven't listened to them in years. I'm more into older music. Used to be, yeah. Oh god, that's neatly to me. He does. He does. He just doesn't have an instrument.
I'll show you an instrument. All right, so I have to redo the glass and stuff. I have to do two separate textures, two materials rather. Where do you have? I come my spirit. I have you forsaken.
I need to get back to using desperately. I'm too addicted to Doom and PvP. And Delve too.
I'm getting hungry too, but I'm
Yeah, I
poor.
didn't even eat yet. Actually, I did, and it was junk food.
I fixed the camera. Hell yeah. All right, now I gotta go into object mode.
I could have just not eaten it. Because I'm fucking addicted to sugar, fat. It's people going on a killing spree on butter. That's the problem.
Father to you, recommended. Father to his why have you forsaken me?
Yeah, I need to listen to System. So much of everything wrong. Why did you name it?
Alright.
Funniest thing that one of my buddies ever picked on me for. Because they knew I was like a fucking hooker at the time. Like modern sense of it. No, just like like I was like this antisocial like and I was like really nerdy and like introverted more than usual, more than what I am now. They would say like Mia Khalifa fucks nerdy fanboy. Like they would just like
Oh my god.
they would just rip on me because
Why is
even though like most of my buddies were virgins, they just like to. I guess I was like,
alright, we're gonna
I have that chip on my shoulder. I guess.
close out epic.
They did. They did. When I was listening to like I was in my like electronic phase. They're like, oh, you're listening to the gay porn music. It's like I don't know. Certain electronic music is just porn music though. Like there's like a audio profile there. I know. But like some of them are just not like they're just like bruh. It's like that's super fucking high fucking shit. I love electronic stuff.
There we go.
It's just it's been a while since I like house music. Yeah, house music is drum and bass. Let's go. Shit, it's too early. Yeah, I've never gotten phase too early. Like started them.
Alright, so I did this wrong.
Oh my god, I don't have any more restore 3 information. Let's build. Yeah, he needs milk. He needs milk. Dude, I love that video.
Edit re-import mesh.
When the guy's like tripping balls. Straight. Is that case? Is that K2 spice? Is that one K2? K2 and shooting spice. Go synthetic cannabinoids. That's actually like it's fucking. What's the point? The whole point of weed is like at Barnes and Noble.
I'm just gonna do easy.
But there's like random shit they sell in these stores, right? It's like they just have like consumer products, like random ass shit, seasonals, and she would always buy seasonal random ass consumer shit in the stores. And I'm just like, you're such a consumer. And she was kind of like, but she kind of like, I don't know, she was kind of like the brown collectors or nothing. Yeah, who cares? No one's gonna want to buy this shit. Everyone's gonna have it. And everyone who doesn't have it
Bro,
is
the
probably
point
gonna
of
see
collecting is to collect properties.
Well, the issue with collector's items is that it's with the anticipation of in the distant future, like, or so you eventually have something to create a hobby. Yeah, I know Ori and yeah, maybe it's popular and probably see resell because it's a popular brand. Star Wars, just like Marvel. That's just a fancy collecting thing. Sure, it's also a thing, which would also mean that if you're going to be using it, it's probably going to lose its value. So
Cool. That'll work. That'll work.
When you have to pick apart my art,
he does that.
just because I haven't collected it, sell it. Well, that's the whole point of a fucking collector's item. No, it's yeah, because it's
I don't go collect rocks if rocks don't go sell rocks.
because it's the fucking sick. That's your budget. Collecting things is
Ooh,
the only thing that collector's item does is that collect dust.
No, it's gonna collect my beverages as I drink them.
I think we could go on about this forever. But we'll just agree to disagree. I collect things because I know that I can sell them in the future, and that they bring me
Stop.
and they believe and I
So you're
believe
building a stock, which is kind of like how it feels like you're reporting on an idea something you made a few.
no, I've played with Magic cards. This is a perfect example. I played with Magic the Gathering cards for almost 10 years. And at a certain point, I was just like, I'm kind of like on the bridge. I'm like pretty much done with Magic.
I think that's what we're gonna go with.
Cards, shit, and it's like, damn, like that shit really has value pretty quick. That was nice because I knew that someone would value it. Maybe not me, like not mine, but I knew that at the time I valued it myself because I would use it. But then I'm like, at least I'm like, it's worth something right now. It probably sold
I'll show you a functional use.
Unlike the fucking, well, it still has inherent use, but it's not inherently
functional use. They all do.
I said
Why they
they
exist throughout culture for
I
thousands
s-
of
what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to
Magic
say,
cards, however, you were seeing the cavemen make them, but they were making drugs.
shut up. This let me finish my argument. You're already picking up as I'm finishing. See, that's rude. You may be right, but that's rude. So
I don't know.
I was saying,
man sitting down like, come and bury here.
Black Lotus. Anyway, so what I'm saying, cups are not a cup is not exciting. A magic card is because it's a modern because it's a exactly because it's a concept. Concepts intangible like tangible objects tied to intangible concepts that value is exciting. So cup is not exciting. That's the difference. No, it's not. Stop trying to make these things seem like they are what they are. A cup is boring. I do not want to buy a cup because it has blah 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 on it. Like I don't give a shit. Like I'm gonna drink from my bottle because it's thermally insulated. It can keep my drink cold for as long as I want or hot. Yeah, it's big.
See how this works?
No,
Everything's gotta use.
no. I drink from the bottle because I don't need the goddamn cup. No, it's not. I already have something that has a functional purpose. I don't need an extra thing that will take up space on my cupboard because I have this obsession with collecting things that have inherent use. We literally have like 15 mugs in our fucking.
This man never ate off of his favorite Hercules plate as a child.
Dude, I remember getting the fucking spoons and shit too. Fucking loved it.
That's because you guys are consumers. You guys are like, yes.
I wasn't buying shit as a kid to eat off of Hercules.
I'm just saying, I'm not nearly as much as a consumer as the average person is. And I'm very proud of it. And I actively attempt to reduce my consumer habits. Of course, I go to Tim Hortons because I'm a fucking consumer in the end. But like I try to mitigate that as much as I can. Like, for instance, I knew I wanted an audio interface. For instance, this is one of the peak consumer goals. Um, I wanted an audio interface because I wanted to be able to record music.
Because it goes against my fucking my essence of being. And that's it actually upsets me when
You're
people
gonna be pissed if you ever come over and you find out all my cups have prints on them.
I honestly would. I would be. I would
I'm like, you want
honestly.
the Hello Kitty cup or do you want the Mandalorian one?
No, I want the one that has nothing on it.
They don't prefer.
You don't have to. No, that's why I bring my own coffee around. So I don't have to fucking worry about that shit.
Drinking from somebody's wrapping cups.
Yes. To be honest, yes. It may sound petty, but it's it's a Yeti. A Yeti. It's maybe 1 liter because I fucking 500 ml 1 liter, 7 liters. It's not enough. Like I go through that shit in like 30 minutes. Especially when I'm like working out.
Pay for risky to get a US based shop so I don't have to pay $15 on a $15 item. So exciting. I love all of the pages
Do you already have Instagram?
No, because I'm not gonna pay $15 shipping for a $15 item.
That's great. Good. So you're not that much of a consumer.
I'm allowed to be hungry. As Andy says, that's the purpose of sports.
Not even too.
$15 on shipping. $3.99 on it.
Dude, I'm getting fucking clapped. It's not a good day.
It's not a lot.
It's not.
They definitely changed stuff in Unreal, and I'm confused.
Talking too much. I'm too upset by your consumer.
Because I said I wanted a $7 cup. That's crazy.
Yes, 7. It's 7.
Yeah, it's free to drink.
Yeah. Wait, how? Really? Okay. That kind of changes things. And maybe I'm jumping out. Well, it's 10. That's $10 cap. I would still say. I do have disposable income, but not enough to justify $1 See, that's how I see things. Like, if I'm gonna use something like 10, 20 times a year, like, yeah, I'll justify spending that. Like a Microsoft, like a Microsoft Office subscription.
Oh, I gotta go
What
to.
I don't understand is why the PK clans like pile on like the fucking dude 200K for like 2 mil or like 20. I didn't register what you said. Like imagine you got someone with like 2 mil. So you like die in the wilderness to like a clan of 20 people for like a mil or 2 mil. Like what was the fucking like what was the point? That's why I bring out 200K for shit. Like it was just like really want a sun like crossbow and some black knee-high that bad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro, you fuck with prickly pear. Taste. I think I had it. I went to a brewery a while ago, and they had a prickly pear craft seltzer. That shit was so good, bro. Ever since then, whenever I see shit with prickly pear, I'm like, yeah, yeah. Nah, man, I fucked up. I played so much.
Edit materials.
One of my best shots. It was crazy. It was actually crazy. I hope I can play like that today. But I was like, I was just not in the right headspace. What had you in a tizzy yesterday? What? I said, what had you in a tizzy yesterday? Still thinking. Still daydreaming, I guess. Still, hey, it's pathetic. Like, I'm on dissonance right now. Yeah, I'm too optimistic. Hopeless hopeful. This man wants to go back to receiving the bare minimum, getting yelled at. That's crazy. It's not. No, it's not that I want. It's the other thing. You know, dude, you can't deny you wanted it that bad. You can't. You should have bent her whim, kissed the ground she walked on. That's good. She wants to keep that. Don't you know that shit? I didn't. I didn't sign the T and C, bro. That's the problem. You should have.
That's the thing. That's the problem with me. Like, I know myself that it would never happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
Go meet him. Like I'm saying, get your mind off of it. Go fucking give that motive elsewhere.
Yep.
I don't know how many people have to tell you that's not it, but that's not it.
Because it's, it's the better path of this resistance. Yeah, it is. It is. It
Nothing but
is.
relation. You were nothing but resistance in the ways that matter to her.
No, 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 not in that sense. In the sense that someone came to me. Just
Go put it to work, bro.
and that's what I'm doing, bro. That's why I'm going to see a psychotherapist. So I'm gonna spend my hard ass earned money that I've suffered for at this stupid job I hate. Make the fucking place as soon as I can. Out, fucking get my own place, and be happy. Not sharing space with the fucking people that can't respect my fucking peace and quiet. Pretty much my life problems. Fucking find someone that actually cares about me. Or pretends that they are just because they think I'm cute. Switch it. But here I am, stuck fucking mastering a boss that doesn't really give me the satisfaction I need. Instead of putting in work. Stuck mastering video game that some odd years. I just don't have that energy. Or I do, but I'm just too stuck in my own head to do anything.
There we go. Finally, it's working.
Maybe that was a bit too heavy.
It's just a video game. That's how you spend your time on weekends. Usually, though. It's not like you don't do anything.
No, it's true. No, it's just I feel like it's a distraction from what I should be doing. Like there's 1,000 more things I could be doing that are more productive. So just put so much time and energy into this that like same thing with music.
I think it's any hobby. It's like the hobby exists so that way you're able to do the other things you have in passing income. It's not meant to be like a detriment that takes you away from passion. At the same time, if you don't, it's one thing to want to do it or know that you have to do it, but if you don't want to do whatever you're thinking about, then it's really not a detriment. Like if you really wanted to go do that thing, a video game or a sports, it's not like they're meant to like recharge you so you can have the that way your time isn't just working. Because then you're gonna get nowhere. You're gonna burn out.
I burned out and at this job, and I wasn't even doing that. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously,
Fulfilled by the work in itself, the environment. You know what I mean? I know for me personally, like when work is busier for me and I'm out of the house, I'm giving it shit. I feel better than when I gotta work from home all week with no real work to do, you know? Regardless, from my own experience, whatever it is I'm doing, you know?
no, I know that what I'm doing.
The only thing I locked in on was school. Like, I did college, stuck to that, I busted my ass for that, and got my job in the field. And after that, everything else is like second. You know, like I should, you know, be spending more time being physically active and all that. You know, and I was doing great with it. So circumstances fucking drained my battery, and now it's not make it happen again. But I wouldn't say that RuneScape stops me from going to the gym because currently I don't want to go to the gym because I'm not motivated to have that as a priority.
Oh, that's why it's not working.
Therapist license. RuneScape's not getting me to do this. Like I genuinely don't want to look at studies. Issue isn't my hobby. The issue is I just don't want to do things. Exactly.
Well, I don't think I am definitely the school of thought that motivation is not.
It's creative. You got it.
Yeah,
But
it comes
not a
after.
failure.
Motivation comes after action.
Yes.
I definitely learned that from like gym and going out into social spaces. You know, I wanted to become more social.
You're not gonna just wake up one day and feel motivated. You know, and I'm not saying I'm gonna wake up one day and feel motivated. It's just the
It's about doing something out of your usual routine. That is what's gonna make
it's like once you start going and once you start benefiting from whatever it is you're doing, then the motivation comes from that. Seeing results, maintaining further. You know what I mean? That's when it's creative. You know? But see, the main difference now for me, now that is that
Oh man.
Like most of the time, I just want to, that's what I enjoy. That's what my team is. What is it? Nothing. There's almost the same. Like Preston saying. But at the same time, I'm also like, man, if I ever got like super fucking fit, lost a bunch of weight, and I have loose skin, I'm still gonna hate myself. So like, well, it's a fucking journey. I know, but like, that's what it's honestly. When I lost 130 pounds, like I was starting to get loose skin. Like it wasn't like someone went from 500 pounds to 200 pounds, going from 500 to 350. Like like in my thighs and my legs, like I had a lot of loose skin. Yeah, dude. When it was in my fitness, I did have loose skin. It's like I could touch a part in my thigh and it would just go empty. I don't know. I'll get back to it eventually. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm hoping that something fucking works. Because I'm already like kind of over how this last year has been. Like, I think I'm exhausted doing nothing for the bare minimum for like. But on the flip side, sometimes wake up in the morning, make my breakfast, start work, in between breakfast and lunch, go to the gym afterwards, and then finally sit down and eat meal. That also, that part is kind of yeah, that's why I'm like I'm stepping in between. Like I can cook my shit. Like I'm doing it like as we speak. But just not 100%, not 5 days a week. That's 7 days a week. That's where I'm at. I'm struggling. I was 7 days a week, 3 meals a day, appropriate snacks in between.
All right, so that's going to be the end of the stream for now. But anybody that stopped by, I do appreciate you. I'm gonna probably come back to this later on. But I need to get some food in my belly and maybe some more caffeine or something. I don't know.